I thought it was a whole group of people, but apparently...
We interrupt this program for a special bulletin.
There seems to be some activity out there, and we've got our man on the scene, Colin, to tell us all about it.
Colin! Colin! Can you hear us?
Pardon?
I have never seen anything like that in my entire life.
Me neither. I've been staring at this. I have been looking at this for the last 5 hours, and I just can't take my eyes off it.
Proops, or what?
No, I don't care what you...
We interrupt
Hello?
this program for a special news bulletin.
Yes, we've got our correspondent Colin Mockery out in the field. Colin, can you hear us?
I can barely hear you. Look at this. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Colin, when did word of this first break to you?
Well, I heard it all started with a debate over who was the best Darren. And then it just... I can barely find the words to describe this.
Have you been afraid of any of the conditions that are going on there?
Yes.
And how are you preparing yourself, Colin?
I wore extra shorts.
We'll return you to your movie in just a moment, but first we have a special bulletin.
Colin, are you out there? We see you now. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can barely hear you, but yes, I am here.
Colin, what exactly is going on there? How did this all start?
It all started with a bad order of shrimp. Then a fight just broke out, and then this started to happen. It started over here, and then it worked its way to here.
Colin, I know that you're very familiar with these surroundings. You spend a lot of time at this place.
Yes.
Can you tell us, what are these people like?
Well, usually they're very friendly. They're very, usually a happy-go-lucky people. Often you can come down here and have a good beer and a few polkas. But now it's just gone to this, and I'm hoping they'll get on the right track soon.
So the priest says, I thought you said stigmata.
Hello. We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you our man in the field with a late-breaking story.
Ryan, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can hear you indeed. There's a lot of noise. A lot of noise behind me, as you can see, but I can make out what you're saying, yes.
Now, it seems kind of peaceful right now. Be careful. Be very careful.
Well, that was close.
Oh, no, it's even closer.
Wouldn't want to get hit by one of those.
No. Tell us more.
Well, apparently it all started at our Ricky Martin garage sale. About 2 days ago. About 2 days ago, and it hasn't stopped since.
He loves those fancy Cuban shoes, doesn't he?
He sure does. This right here has been happening for about 10 minutes, and I don't know what that is.
So just for coffee or something?
Yeah, if you
Here
have...
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. We now go out to Colin Mockery in the field. Colin, can you hear me?
I can barely hear you above the roar of what's happening behind me. I have to tell you, I haven't been this scared in a long time.
What exactly is the state of play now, Colin? What are you going to do about it?
Just keep moving and hope that everything dies down soon.
Colin, it looks like you're risking your skin just being out there right now.
I am, but I'm a dedicated... Whoa! I almost, it's like I don't even know what's going on. There's so much happening.
Colin, just try and stay very, very still and very... No.
Oh, gee, did you see that? I don't know how much longer I can be here. I may have to move to higher ground.
I'd move, Colin. I'd move your ass right now.
Yeah.
So the parrot says, Polly want a cracker. Oh, we're getting an instant bulletin.
Yes, we're going out to the field for the latest breaking news story with Ryan Stiles. Ryan, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, although there is a lot of noise here.
It does seem so.
Can you tell us what's going on?
I'm sorry.
I said, can you tell us what's going on?
Careful, Ryan. Careful.
Well, as you can see, this started about 3 hours ago. And it doesn't look like there's any end in sight. I got caught in the middle of it for about 5 minutes and worked my way out.
Now you seem to be blending in quite well.
I'm a reporter.
Do you understand the nature of things out there?
Well, yes, it all started when word got out that the Olsen twins aren't actually twins.
Really?
And then you can see what's happening now. It's just getting worse every minute.
I just colored it around the ears a little bit, a little grayish.
Makes you look more dignified.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. Colin, can you hear us? Colin?
Yes. Can you believe this?
Colin, for our viewers at home who might not be familiar with this goings-on, could you please be very descriptive about what you see out there?
Well, apparently it all started over some nude pictures of Dr. Ruth on the internet. And from there, this happened. And that, and some of this, too.
Colin, do you have any favorites there?
Well, I'm kind of partial to this one. But I haven't actually been on the scene long enough to build up any kind of rapport.
Now, I don't know much about your expertise, but what do you actually call those things?
Well, I call that one Frank. And Terry and Jill.
Can't go if someone's watching.
I can't either.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. Colin, can you hear us?
Yes, I can barely hear you. I'm just trying to stay out of the way of everything that's happening over here.
Colin, you always get these dangerous assignments. How do you do it?
I don't know. I guess it's because I actually know no fear. Oh, God.
Colin, can you tell us how all this started?
Yes, I certainly can. It was a cola taste test that went horribly wrong.
Now, are you familiar with these naval movements?
Well, I can't actually get close to them to actually, just talk. So I'm going to try and get them later, but there seems to be a lot of confusion.
Colin, on a personal note, may I say you look very chic this evening?
Well, thank you. You know, I have a new cologne.
Well, you're
Eau de Clint.
always there with the bear facts, and we thank you for that. Can you tell us anything more about this young lady?
Was it another girl and a man or two men?
No, it was another
we're
girl.
on there. We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. We now take you out and in the field. Who's our reporter out there today, Kathy?
Today it's award-winning war correspondent Colin Mockery. Colin, how did you find yourself in this situation?
My bus took a wrong turn somewhere. It's very hard for me to keep my professionalism. I'm very, very frightened.
I don't
As you can hear, there's lots of stuff going on that's not meeting with popular demand.
Colin, it does not look good. How did this whole thing start?
Well, it all started with a bad concert review, and it just degenerated into this. I am shocked. I am almost disgusted by what I am looking at.
I think we can all say the same thing.
Faster's better, you think?
Usually, but I think with you, slower might be good.
Really?
Oh, here we are. We have interrupt this program for a special bulletin from a Canadian man. Colin,
I can barely hear you. It's just non-stop action here. I am afraid for my life.
Colin, how did you find out about this first happening?
I heard about it at the supermarket. I was just carrying some fresh produce when I heard about the kerfuffle down the street. I hurried down.
We have Mayor Giuliani on the other line. He wants to know if there's anything the citizens can do.
What do you think? There's nothing. I don't know what to do.
I'm Thomas Guide.
And I'm Mark the Page.
And we've got Drew Carey out in the field. Drew, can you hear us, Drew?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. It's a little windy in here, a little noisy, but I can hear you pretty good. Really? How are you feeling right now? Has there been any change?
There's been quite a bit of excitement since this morning. Boy, people are drinking like crazy, let me tell you that.
Drew, are you in any sort of danger at the moment?
No, not that I know of. They seem to like me pretty much. And they like my deodorant. So they pretty much leave me alone, whoever it is.
Can you characterize your feelings right now?
I feel very alone.
So the elephant says, you should see the monkey.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
That's right. We have Colin Mockery out in the field at the site of very important goings-on. Colin, could you please tell us what is, in fact, going on?
Well, as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And this has to be worth at least 1,000,000.
Colin, are you taking any sort of safety precautions?
Yes, I painted all my undershirts with lead paint. That may offer me a little bit of protection.
You seem to be in over your head, Colin. I think you should watch out.
Thanks for the advice, Brad. I will certainly watch. Did you see that?
Freeze on it doesn't bother you?
No, not at all. I like it.
Oh, hello. We interrupt this show for a special news bulletin.
Yes, we've got Colin Mockery out on the field reporting live. Colin, how are the conditions out there?
Well, as you can see, things have just gone beyond all. I mean, look! It's unbelievable what's happening here. I am afraid for my life.
Colin, do you have any idea how this whole thing started?
Well, it all started at a revival of The King and I starring Jerry Springer. From then, it just spilled out onto the streets and chaos, chaos, chaos.
Apparently lost 30 pounds on a potato diet.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
Joe, can you hear us?
What? What?
We said, Joe, can you hear us?
Oh my God.
Yes, I can't. I'm having trouble hearing you.
Joe, can you hear all that behind you?
Pardon?
Can you hear all that behind you?
I gotta tell you, I've never been this scared in all my years of broadcasting.
I don't blame you, Joe.
Joe,
Yes.
what caused all this?
Apparently a very bad bowl of soup. Details are still sketchy. I'm still trying to get. Excuse me. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to talk to me.
Joe, you don't usually see these two types of things together.
No, you don't. Not since that Laurel and Hardy shorts in 1924.
Oh, Joe, it looks like it might be settled now. In the background, it looks like it might be over.
Oh, you think that? I thought that about 4 hours ago, but it's gonna start again.
Easier if you're drunk first?
Yeah, although I usually feel bad about it.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. I'm Jim Furley.
And I'm covered in fur.
And we're going out to the scene live with our news action reporter, Colin Mockery. Colin, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. As you can see, things have quieted down a bit. But about an hour ago, it was just nuts.
You know, I never believed I would see this, but I'm starting to believe it now.
I tell you, I couldn't believe my eyes. I still can't.
Colin, what started the whole thing here? How did this start up?
Well, as far as I can tell, it all started with a price check. And then I don't know how it escalated to this, but I haven't seen this much action since my wedding night.
We interrupt this very special 4-hour Dharma and Greg with a news flash from the field, Ryan.
We now go to award-winning reporter Colin Mockery, who is covering this late-breaking story. Colin Mockery, can you hear me at the moment?
Yes, I can barely hear you.
Colin!
As you can see, it's just pandemonium.
Colin, can you keep us abreast of what's going on there?
I certainly can. As you can see, a lot of action is here, but there's some over here, too.
Oh, really? There seems to be a lot of excitement and exuberance. Can you describe your feelings with what's going on there?
Well, I'm just trying to keep up with them.
Can you tell us what you can... Can you describe what you can see?
Sure. Look, in a way, it's beautiful. The words escape me because I have not seen anything.